Hey, good evening, everybody. It's a Wednesday night, and it's not a dueling dealers night. We've got an art sale this evening with Bart Sears, who was at OAX this past year, and he'll be at the next one too. But as everybody knows, we got a busy weekend ahead of us for the CAF team. We're going to be heading to Heroes, so lots of stuff going on there. And I saw Southern Comic Geek was so nice. He actually stopped at Whole Foods in advance of the show to let me know that the Whole Foods store down from the convention center carries Zevia. So I appreciate that, Southern Comic Geek. I didn't know how is or where I might get my fix while I was in Charlotte this weekend, so that's much appreciated. And anything, well, everybody knows how much I love that drink. But let's it. Oh, okay. I know that West Coast Dave did an interview with Bart recently, so he's got a AKA Bert Kmart. So I guess I'm gonna have to find out from Bart how he's gotten this nickname that I was not aware of. So welcome Bart Sears to the chat, everybody. How's it going?
It's going all right. How are you doing, Bill?
I'm not too bad. So, I know you did a show with West Coast Dave not too long ago. And what is this Burt Kmart? How did that
I
come about?
honestly don't have any recollection of that, but
Okay.
that could just be me.
Well, it's good to have you back on the show. It's been a while since we've done an art sale show. We did a small thing in the fall in the lead up to OAX,
Yeah,
but we haven't had a whole lot of time to talk in the last year because even at the show, we were both pretty busy.
yeah.
So how's things going with you? The funny thing is that when I was looking for things to talk about, like I always do before I do an interview and an art sale, you have a Kickstarter going on right now. How on earth is that happening? And I don't know about it, such that I haven't promoted it for you already. But here we are. We can do that tonight.
I'm still learning the ropes of Kickstarter, but it's for Drawing Powerful Heroes 3. I conveniently placed 1 and 2, behind me, but it's for the third version, and it just started Sunday night. We somehow managed to launch it on a Sunday on Father's Day, like at 7 o'clock or something, which was crazy. But it funded in a couple hours, which was really nice. So now we're just pushing it, hoping to get a lot more people to see it and hopefully enjoy it.
Well, the funny thing is that's kind of how I stumbled into it because I was on the page, the Kickstarter page that had I guess like the last one you had done with the combos, and I saw the last updated date was June 15th, and I'm thinking that Kickstarter ended like a year before. What on earth could Bart have updated that Kickstarter about? And it was announcing this other Kickstarter getting started. So that's how I came about it. So here, I'll throw it in the chat for everybody since I haven't put it in the show description yet. But
Thank you.
there is your link. You can go over and check out the Kickstarter, support it. What do you got? You got 26 days to go, so it really is just getting started. So why don't you give us the pitch on this one? I mean, you've drawn some the first couple books were all about drawing powerful characters, and so what's this third book about?
Yeah, the first two books were revised, updated, and expanded versions of the Roots and Babes column I did in Wizard Magazine. And in each of those books, I did 5 new tutorials, brand new, in the back. In this one, I did a book in the mid to late 90s called Drawing Power, and it was all about drawing a splash page. So I've given that the same treatment that I did the Roots and Babes columns, updated, expanded, revised, added new stuff, and went from 64 pages to 134 pages. And that's it. It's just all about drawing one single splash page and all the decisions you make during that process.
Well, you've done quite a few splash pages in your time. I think you're at year 39 in the business, so you have one more year to go to hit a 40-year milestone of drawing in the comics industry. So
No,
yeah,
January this year.
January. Oh well, shoot. Okay, when I was looking at, I don't know what I was
First
reading.
hired in January 40 years ago, 1985.
Man, well, we could have done something for you at OAX. We could have baked you a cake. We could have bought you a
I
drink.
didn't realize it.
It was actually your 40th anniversary while you were there. Shoot. All right. Well, we'll have to do something for your 41st anniversary when you're back in Orlando.
All right,
Uh,
cool.
well. So this is cool. Now, I did notice there are no art rewards for for the current Kickstarter. Have you ever done art rewards for those in the
I
past?
did when I was with Ominous Press. We did a lot of stuff, and I like to keep the campaign simple. The
Hmm.
only thing I do for these is I'll do a remark, and I do this little circle remark on the book, so it looks pretty cool. So
That's
that's
not bad.
it. It's basically you just get the book, or you can get all three books if you want. But I like to keep them simple.
So yeah, I did see that there was the option to pick them all up as well. All right. Well, I've got to put on my calendar now, so I'll make sure that I get a little PR out for you, before the Kickstarter has ended.
I do appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. So, we were talking about cons before we went live here. So you've been a little bit busy, and you've got a few shows coming up, right?
Yeah, I know one. I can never keep in my mind where I'm going or when, but I've got one I think in Virginia. Tidewater is not not this weekend, but the weekend after. That'll be my next con in Tidewater. I think it's Virginia. Might be
We
West.
should bring Michelle in. She knows your schedule.
There it is, Tidewater Comic Con, Stingray's local show.
There you go. Well, then I guess Newell might see you there.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I've been pretty busy. I was signed a contract with the Conan people,
Oh,
so
good.
I actually the cover in the show is the first one I did for them. I just found out it was pushed back. It'll be out in November. I think I messed up. I don't think I was supposed to show it and certainly not sell it, but we are where we're at, so I'll take my lumps.
Wait, is that the Conan cover we've shown here?
Yeah.
Well, that's why I couldn't find a printed. I was looking for the published image for it, and I'm like, there's no way that you would have told me this was a cover if it wasn't published, and now I know why I couldn't find it.
Yep. I think it was supposed to come out in July, but something, I don't know what happened. Because I emailed them just, I guess, a couple days ago asking if I could show it on for something because I'd forgotten I put it in the show. And they were like, oh no, it's been pushed back to November. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, well.
So you didn't say anything then, right? You didn't let everybody know that. Yeah,
Until now.
right, exactly. Oh, what are you gonna do? It's an awesome cover. That's why I thought, my gosh, there's no way there isn't a color image out there, and definitely there is not.
I do have one. My buddy Mike Attia colored it. Looks great. But
So what's you probably can't talk about the contract. Is it just a cover contract, or are you going to be doing some interiors too?
it's everything.
It's everything. Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. We haven't found the interior project yet, but I've given them a proposal I want to write and draw, so we'll see if they go for that. And hopefully they will.
Well, that's good. Jeff Isherwood had that recent run on some of the Conan work, and it was pretty nice. So, yeah.
Yeah, those books look great. They're doing a
Now let's sorry, looking through the chat that I've completely skipped over. Jason, who loves Valiant, says the show needs more Valiant. So, yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you, Jason. So it is true. We could always use a bit more Valiant on here. But the Valiant, well, you do have some Valiant stuff. We're going to be showing off a couple, well, at least one piece today. I know there's you brought a cover prelim from something from around like 1995.
Yeah, I don't remember what one now, but I'm sure I'll recognize it when I see it tonight.
It's an EXO cover. It's just funny. It's
yeah, it's with that big brute guy. I can't think.
Exactly 30 years in a bin
I've
at
got
your house.
brushed almost every page I drew for EXO, so.
Well, the amazing thing is, they are so finished. That was one of the, everyone I've seen, that you've shown to me, they look, as if they should be inked because you put so much time into them. A lot of times, the prelims and stuff that we get to see are more rough and loose, or, the detail is only on like one of the figures or something like that. And most of your prelims are pretty tight.
Pretty much all I don't draw on prelims is rendering. If I do rendering or, but everything's there usually. Especially if I have a little more time, or if it's a regular monthly gig, I'll spend the time.
That's true. Well, Heiser, who's traveling, says it was great meeting you at OAX. Yeah, I think a lot of people. Did you have a good time at OAX? We didn't get. I think I saw it. Well, I didn't even get to see you on the way out. I remember you had to leave like an hour before the show was over, so I missed you guys heading out the door. But we emailed after the show. Everything went well.
Yeah, it went great. I loved OAX. That was such a. I don't know if calm's the right word, but it was nice not having everything going on. It was just art and guys that love art, so it seemed pretty cool. I really enjoyed it.
There wasn't any like K-pop music playing in the booth next to you that was, that made you wish you
No,
you weren't there.
no.
That is one of the things we have going for us there. Uh, but well, and you're coming back. For those who haven't been paying attention to our announcements, we're happy to have you and Michelle come back for the show in February next year. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So I know we'll have you on the show again in the lead up to OAX in
Awesome.
February. But yeah, let me answer some questions here I saw in the chat. Margaret, who I know loves a lot of your work, she's asking if we would accept time payments for the show. Yeah, depending on what the pieces are, absolutely, Margaret. And I know that a lot of people are on budgets these days, so we'd be happy to take care of anything that we'd want you to get the artwork at the end of the day. So if you see something you like, we can certainly make it work out.
Yeah,
So,
I do that on my website too. People ask.
oh yeah.
Yep. Yep. So I know it's expensive, and I know people are watching pennies, so I'll help them if I can.
Oh yeah, no, it's we've seen that kind of across the hobby. Everything, things definitely have slowed down a little bit in 2025. We're all hopeful it won't last throughout the end of the year, but yeah, I've talked to a few artists who've, tighten their belts a little bit here or there, but by and large, we still have to get our fix with art purchases. Bart, we can't, none of us can go too long without picking something up. But we had our Comic Art Live event, 4 weeks ago, and I picked up like 4 or 5 pieces from that. My wife picked up a couple, my daughter picked up one, and so you gotta you have to scratch that itch one way or another. So
Awesome.
yeah. But let's see here. I know there was a couple other comments I missed. I guess just everybody shouting, that they're happy to see you, and then Kazra wondering why I would drink Zevia when I don't have to. It's because again, I can't drink Coca-Cola, and I don't like Diet Coke or any diet drinks in general. So Zevia is pretty much it when I want to have a soda. Let's see. And I'm yeah. All right, well, we'll keep that thing. Will Bart accept hugs as a form of payment? Asked Chip. No, I don't believe so, Chip. Sorry to say that form of commerce went out, I think sometime I'm not even sure when it was a form of commerce.
I don't know. It certainly doesn't work over the internet, I don't think.
No, it does not. Uh, but outside of the shows, then and Conan. I mean, is there any, in the Kickstarter? What else you got going on? Is there any
Working with David Hedgecock on a property called Sugar Bomb, which is insane. I'll show you a page.
I've not heard of that. So yeah, let's.
It hasn't come out yet, but let's see what I got here. Here's a spread. It's crazy stuff.
Sugar Bomb.
Yeah, she's fighting the milkmaid.
I was gonna say there does look like there's some milking going on there.
Oh yeah, it's
wow. How do you?
pretty twisted, but it's a lot of fun.
What's the script like for that? When draw a DPS with a character fighting another character called the Milkmaid. I mean, is it heavily detailed, or is your imagination allowed to flourish?
Detailed, but they let me do with it what I want. And I believe the script started with, "We're really sorry about this part. I'm kind of embarrassed," but then they wrote it, so that's fun.
Kazra wants me to ask you about what references you might have used for that.
I don't talk about my references.
That's probably wise. Yeah, no, that's wow.
That's a fun one. I'm also doing a salvage PI standalone book for Ripaverse.
Okay.
And I don't know, a bunch of other things. We've got Michelle and I have a couple projects in the contract stage, so we're hoping those work out so that we can get jumping on them. One of them being Maiden, which was in heavy metal, and we got the rights back, so we've been talking to Panic about that. We just have to figure out a couple things before that's good to go.
Well, that's awesome. I'm sorry, I'm trying to lots of interesting comments in the chat, but Armando from Corpus Christi, Texas says hello. I guess I saw you at a Corpus Christi Comic-Con. Asked you to do a commission of a rifleman on a blank cover.
That was awesome.
You remember that?
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, he had his son. Son was right there around his legs when he was holding his rifle. That was fun. Never had to draw him before. I don't do likenesses, so I did, the rifleman in my universe, but
Hmm.
cool. That was very cool. Thanks, Armando.
Yeah, he said it was on a blank Walking Dead cover.
That's right. Yeah, because there aren't any rifleman blanks that I know of.
Oh man. Let's see here. Trying to look through here. Yeah, Donnelly says he's got like 15. All right. Well, everybody should hit the thumbs up on here because we want to make sure we can get a lot of people tuning in this evening. So yeah, we get a lot of viewers and a lot of thumbs up. But yeah, okay. So as far as sketches like that, I mean, do you do? I mean, how often do you get asked to do characters that you would say aren't ones that are most, in your wheelhouse, things that you've drawn in the, previously? I would assume a lot of the time when people ask you for something, it's something that you're most, you've done a lot of.
Yeah, it shows there's usually at least one a show
Yeah.
that's somebody that I've never done. A lot of guys will come up and say, "Who have you never done that you want to draw?" or something like that, or give me three or four options, which is always fun. Usually, but then sometimes I'll get, like I never drew Death's Head. I didn't even know what that was for Marvel, and I think I've drawn like four of them in the last 3 years, which is unusual.
Not for the same collector.
No, all different.
Huh. Yeah, that is that's a character that I totally don't understand because I wasn't, reading books in the early 90s, but I know what they look like, but I don't understand their place in comics history whatsoever.
I don't either. I really don't know much about them at all. So,
Well, thankfully for the internet and your mobile phone, you can pretty much look up anything for reference and
yeah,
work it out.
that's the best thing about a show. People used to come up and ask for stuff, and it'd be like, "Do you have a comic? Can you go grab a comic with that guy in it?" Because I have no idea what he looks like. But now it's just like doink doink, and you get your image, and you're like, "Is this the right costume?" I'm like, "Yep."
Hmm.
There you go.
You got a question from Henry Jeremick in the chat. They said, "Do you have any plans to do anything with David Finch, ink each other's pencils? I guess you maybe you've done that in the past."
No, I did his show once last year. I can't remember when. It was during my last Kickstarter, I think, and we had a blast. But Dave doesn't do them very much anymore. So he told me to call him when I wanted to do one, but I haven't done that yet.
Well, you have another Kickstarter going on. Might be time.
It might be time. I may have to twist that screw a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do
Well.
my own live one this weekend, anyways. So
Hmm.
I got to get into this space more.
Well, you've got a webcam and a decent internet connection, so that's all you need. You know that.
Camera for my desk.
Oh
So
well, you're more sophisticated than I am. I've had to hold an iPhone a few times when I wanted to show a second camera around here.
yeah, I've been doing some little reels and shorts this week to help promote the Kickstarter, and Michelle has to film them. I tried doing one on my own, but I couldn't hold the paper and the phone at the same time, so didn't really work.
Well, Michelle does a very good job keeping things organized. I think typically I don't get a nice spreadsheet when I get a list of art that comes when I'm working with an artist. Usually I'll get something in an email typed out, but I had a nice spreadsheet from Michelle. Everything was bolded that needed to be bolded, and paper size and type in their own columns. I mean, it's not that, or I can tell you the dealers I work with aren't really that organized. So that was refreshing when I got her email.
Oh, you should see our list of art now. She's been going to town. It's crazy.
Oh, cataloging stuff.
Yeah. Yep, and we still have boxes we haven't gone through. It's all roughs and pencils and layouts and stuff, but there's tons of it.
Yeah, that was we talked about it. So we added a couple of the prelims or roughs to it. I'd asked her about, could we pull like three or four, and so she pulled three pieces that I don't have here that you guys have there. And so if they sell, I guess Michelle will be packing those up and shipping them. But I've got the other 20 pieces that we have for the sale tonight.
Awesome.
Yeah, let's see. Tony says that they enjoyed your EXO run and they're looking forward to the art sale tonight. Awesome.
Cool. Cool.
Well, why don't I'll give the ground rules, I guess, for the art sale today and or this evening, and we can get things started. Let's see, I've got a couple different slides here to look at. I'll switch it over to the art sale tab. There we go. So claims happen in the chat. We got 23 lots this evening, so you just have to type claim and the lot number. The lot number is on each of the slides that you're going to see tonight, so it's real easy, And I'll even say lot number 1 is this, lot number 2 is that. You can wait till the end of the of displaying all 23 lots if you want to claim a piece. Just always put the lot number in the chat when you do that. So type again claim and 10. If you want lot 10. Just be very, very specific. It's because one of the things that can always happen is we're on a different piece and your internet's a little bit slower and you're still looking at the prior piece, which is a good reminder for me since we're only streaming on YouTube right now. The in the lower left-hand corner is a live button in the window. Click the live button and that will bring you as live as possible to everybody else who's in the chat. So it keeps everything as current as we can get it. We're going to be a few seconds ahead of everybody because we're in the studio, but if you click that live button and do it periodically throughout the presentation of the art, that will definitely keep you in as close to real time with us as possible when we're showing the art. Anything that gets claimed this evening, we would like payment within 48 hours. We prefer payments via Zelle or Venmo. I mean, we'll take a personal check if that's easier. I do accept Wise. I've taken a few international transfers of late for those of you who are outside of the U.S., and I'm fine with accepting them that way. Those they actually have come in with no fees. I thought Wise had small fees, so international buyers can go that route with us as well. But if you do need to use PayPal, we do charge a 4% service fee for those in the States and 5.5% for people who are outside of the U.S. And so outside of that, I can't say that I have all the art today. I do have 20 of the 23 pieces. So shipping will be $30 domestic, $65 international. I pack everything with Masonite, so I wouldn't say it's bulletproof, but it's very, very sturdy. And the only thing I would let everybody know, I guess I can let you know two things, is if you're going to Heroes, we could have free shipping for you for this show because I can hand deliver it. I don't leave until tomorrow. I think I leave the house around 10 a.m. tomorrow. So anybody who claims artwork and is going to Heroes, you can save $30 by picking it up there. I'm happy to do it. You just have to let me know before I leave in the morning. Otherwise, I should say that I am at that show through Sunday. So anybody who pays immediately, just be aware that we probably won't have your art packed and ready to go until next Tuesday. So just keep that in mind. Usually we like to try to turn it around a little bit faster than that, but that will be our schedule for shipping artwork today. And that's about it on the rules. I think everybody's what's up? What's that?
I have two answers to questions I see in the thing. Stingray, I have drawn Stingray. I did a 22-page story I penciled and inked of Heroes for Hire, written by, I sat next to him last week in the show, Fabian. And it was Stingray and the crew, and they fought cow creatures from space, but it was never printed. I don't know why. And Armando, just email us at bartsearsart.com and we'll see what we can do about a print for you. Okay, I'm done.
Oh, that was Armando's question. Okay, if possible to get a print. So you have drawn Stingray. I don't think I've talked to a creator that's drawn up something that actually was published and included Stingray in it.
No. I don't
That's
even
good.
know.
Well, 40 years in the business, you've drawn a lot.
Do I have those pages? She must have gone to bed. I don't know.
Well, if you do, we Newell is an interested buyer. I can tell you that. Even if you only have the prelims, he'd probably love to see.
No, they're all. I don't even know. Well, I should have the pages. But anyhow, let's move on.
Yeah, well, I can hook you and Newell up for sure.
Take me
yeah, like Stingray just said, if you do, we need to talk.
Sweet.
Making sales without having to show any artwork. That's always a good thing. So all right. Well, let's just dive into this. We've got. I think I tried to organize things well, and then I fell apart near the end. But I tried to kind of keep the unpublished stuff and prelims together, and things that were published together. And I think maybe the last piece was a piece that was a prelim, and I should have moved it into a different section. But let's see here. go ahead and just show lot one. It's for those Star Wars fans out there. We have a Darth Maul sketch on 8.5 by 11 bond paper, $100, and Darth Maul. I mean, have you ever gotten to do anything in the Star Wars universe that's been published?
Nope.
I didn't
Nope.
think I saw anything on like the lexicon of
Ever have.
project you had worked on.
This I just did. I don't know. One day I felt like drawing Darth Maul. I can't remember. Maybe some Star Wars happened. I don't really remember, but I wanted to draw the bad boy because I've drawn his head before, a couple of headshots, but never drew, the rest of him. So it was kind of fun. But I always loved Darth Maul. And that one, the first three of the series, he was the coolest character by far. So that's Darth
I won't
Maul.
argue with you there. So you've had to draw Darth Maul a few times at at the request of people at cons.
Yep. Yep.
There you go,
Of course
Margaret Lee. Margaret says, "Time for my usual comment that I greatly appreciate how Bart draws male characters."
I've heard that before.
Yeah, exactly.
Not for Margaret, but
We've I was doing a collector interview last night, and somebody had a JLE page, and it's like your art when you see it, just from the line work, the way you handle the musculature on characters. You know that's a Bart Sears piece because just and I don't know if it's because of all the work that we've seen in Wizard, but it really is your style. That the way just the thin line work that you put on a character, it defines like your technique and the way you handle anatomy. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you've talked about it to the nth degree and in different circles, but it is so true. I mean, you can literally see a leg, and it's like that's Bart Sears, and you know it.
well, that's cool. I mean, I think my style is the underdrawing is how I construct things because I put multiple different rendering styles and finishing styles over them depending on the project. But
Mm-hmm.
to me, it's all about the underdrawing. The pretty lines on top are,
Oh, all right. Well, hey, this next piece actually got an interesting comment from Bob Layton when I was doing a little unboxing and it showed off a couple pieces. Well, actually, no, it's not this one. I don't have lot two in front of me. I skipped lot two. This is I'll show lot two next because this is lot three. How do I do that? We got a Captain America. This is not one that Bob Layton talked about. This is that an unused side panel on 11 by 17, and it's really tight pencils, and it's $500 right now. Explain to me what this would have almost been used for.
when I was doing Captain America and Falcon, there was a page. I don't know. Maybe it was issue 2. I can't quite remember, but it was a 2-page spread, and it had long, thin panels, and it was all like in this cornfield, and the kid that becomes Anti-Cap or whatever he was called is in it. And I drew this figure Cap, and the panels were supposed to go behind him and spread across the page. But then I got a better idea for a figure of Cap, so I threw this aside and did the Cap that was printed.
I got it.
So I got this much done and threw it out.
Well, we should have had this one available on Flag Day.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how I managed to skip lot 2, but I did. Somehow I managed to not upload into the studio when I was doing my mass upload. But again, very nice piece, and I know a few people who have some of your Cap and Falcon pages in their Cap gallery. So
Cool.
a couple fans there. But now I'll go ahead and show lot 2 because this is the one that Bob Layton was talking about. The moment he saw it, he was like, "I want to ink that." So, I mean, obviously you guys have worked together a little bit in the past.
Yeah, he inked the XO14 cover, and then he inked. What did he ink? And he did I did some kind of sketch, and I asked him to ink it. I kind of can't remember what it is. I have it somewhere. Boy, that's my memory for you. I think he's only inked me twice on those 2 things. Although, interesting story. When I finished Invasion, DC offered me Justice League Europe as a penciler, and Marvel offered me breakdowns on Iron Man for Bob to finish, and I chose Justice League because it was finished pencils.
Hmm. I would have thought you and Bob would have worked together a little bit more.
Yeah, me too. Of course, it's never say never.
Yeah. Well, congrats to Jerry Bourne for picking this one up. I think Jerry also, when he saw the piece on the
Jerry,
cap update, he said I think he gave it 2 thumbs up, and
awesome.
yeah, well, and he's asking if I can forward it to Bob. Jerry, after we get payment, you and I can talk. We could probably figure something out. He is in Seoul right now, but we can we can make miracles happen some way somehow. But
That's awesome. Make sure I get to see that.
he probably would enjoy getting to see it and ink it. Um, you know, it's we talk about it a lot, but it's always funny the number of people who we think of as pencilers have really long careers and at the time being inkers as well. Bob's one of those guys. Bill Sienkiewicz. I mean, you name it. Bob McLeod.
Yep,
Incredible penciler, but just as
yep,
equally a phenomenal inker. So yeah, it's I'm sure Bob would actually enjoy getting to work on that.
yep. That'd be great. I got to see that if he does.
Awesome. All right. Well, this next piece, it's we're gonna here. Let me just pull it up and we'll talk about it. Now, this is some JSA headshots that you did. Now, these are on smaller than sketch card size pieces of
Yeah,
Bristol, and they're 2¼ by 3¼ and I know I'm emailed with Michelle, and she said that after OAX, you enjoy working on sketch cards. I don't know
yeah.
if you've done a lot of them before OAX, but you
Not
like
real.
there was something about the size.
Yeah, I like it. It's great for little headshots, and I wanted to play around with Copics, which I don't normally have time to on bigger ones. And uh, I actually scanned in one of the sketch cards you had, and somewhere in the translation I shrunk it a little bit. So I've thrown those out since. So I've got a new. Well, you sent me a bunch now that I'll work on. But
Yeah, no, I thought, well, had I known you had a good time drawing them, I would have given you a bunch when you were at OAX because we had a little bit extra afterwards. So yeah, I was happy to send them your way, and honestly, whenever you need more, just let us know. I mean, we'd be happy to send them your way. We always have a little surplus here around CAF HQ,
yeah,
but Hoarder's
honestly, I
Hide,
thought they were
thank
the
you for
right
picking this.
size until you said that, and then I held it up to one of your cards. And I was like, oh, yeah, I screwed that up.
I know, but they're all fantastic, though. Michelle said you enjoyed doing these as warm up rather than doing warm ups. You were doing these,
Yeah,
and
I was having a blast. I mean, I think my favorite is Our Man, but I always liked Our Man as a kid. I don't know why. But
well, you've
somebody
done
said
you
I should add Power Girl, so she was the last one I did.
very nice. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed doing it, and we've been promoting sketch cards a lot because we feel they're well they're fun. They're an alternative to what we're used to collecting, in the comic art collecting hobby, and so it's fun to promote them, and a lot of the artists have had a good time drawing them, so it's cool. I'm glad you
Yep.
got this, and I'm glad Hoarders Hide
Enjoy it.
picked this one up.
Awesome.
Now let's see here. Okay, I think these are the three prelims that Michelle sent me. I kind of wedged these in between the set that you had
Oh yeah.
given me. And this is from Violator #1 on 13, page 13. So it's $600. I figured I'd show the finished piece along with it since I don't have the published piece. But these Violator pages, I think we did have one once, and it was a highly sought after piece. Is this a book that you don't have any of the published pages left any longer?
Nope, I have none. I don't think I ever got any back from #2. But nope, I don't think I have any. I think I sold the last one, maybe at OAX. I can't remember. I sold it somewhere in the last year or two. But yeah, I don't have any of the original pages. Um, but I've got a bunch of prelim stuff. I've actually got 11 by 17 of the cover to two, the rough that I threw down, two light box to pencil. But a lot of stuff like this.
Well, this one,
And he was crazy. That script was half-inch thick for 22 pages. And he even did thumbnails that he sent along for every page. It was,
Well, that's what, yeah, and Marcus mentions it in the chat that yes, Alan Moore was the writer of Violator, and I think we talked about that. Like you said, he thumbnailed everything, and we've seen that before. I've seen a few Alan Moore scripts for sale at auction,
yep.
and he does he draws he knows what he wants out of a page when he's writing.
I must have them somewhere.
Right, that's right. Now, as soon as you say that, I remember that. Right,
I
we
probably
talked
just
about
have
that. You need to dig.
so
You need to go through the bins and find that because it is worth some money.
cool, cool.
All right. Well, Southern Comic Geek says that they picked up the well, no, it's Hoarders Hide picked up the one that you sold last time on the show. So,
Awesome.
all right. Well, this one's lot 5, $600. The other two, I think. Let's see. The next one was a Vampirella cover that
Yep.
I think he did for Dynamite. So this is a prelim to that. This one's $400. It's 8.5 by 11 as well. And yeah, it's just the reverse of the published image. I think it got published in a like a what do they call them, the naked one without
All
the
about the
Vampirella. Then there was also an inked version.
Yeah, they do a
So
lot of versions, and I think I flipped it before I inked it. For whatever reason, I decided to flip it, so the original is actually flipped. I don't know why. For whatever reason, I did it, but that was fun. Never got to draw her before, so that was cool.
had you worked with Dynamite before that?
I've known Nick forever, Nick Barucci, but
Mm-hmm.
I've done some work with him. Oh, I did all the Turok covers and John
Oh,
Turok
right.
covers for him that he did. Not all of them, but I did a bunch of them.
Well, he knew the right guy to do them.
They were fun. I've done
All right, so
covers for every version of Turok except one in the 50s.
Alberto says everybody knows Nick. Yes, Nick is hard to miss. It doesn't matter if he's in the chat or he's doing his own show or he's at a con. Yeah, you can usually he's not hard to avoid. Now here we go. This is somebody said they wanted Valiant, so here you go. This is a prelim to XO 51 from 1995. So it's been sitting in a bin at Bart's place for 30 years. And it's on 8.5 by 11. Very tight pencils on this one, and again, $400 for lot number 7.
The our Donnelly, this and Vampy are both my I guess you call them prelims, because what I would do is I take the 8.5 by 11, blow it up to full size, whatever the size of the final art was going to be, and I would light box it either to pencil or to ink, depending on what it was. The Vampirella I probably light box straight to ink, and this one I probably did EXO too, because I inked that one. I think. No, I didn't. I did it to pencil. Ray inked it.
Southern Comic Geek. This is one of the 3 that I do not have in hand, and I know you're actually going to be at Heroes, so I could have hand delivered this one to you, but no, this one would be shipped by Michelle and Bart.
Yep.
They have it at home.
We've never had a problem, so.
Yeah, no. I know you guys ship a lot of art, but this was just a last minute ad where when I was emailing back and forth with Michelle, I said, we don't have really any prelims in here. We should show a few, since I know you have so many of them. But again, this is kind of indicative of the things you have in bins in the office that you'll be going through. All right. Well, this one's out there still available. We can take a look at lot number 8. I think we're moving into the published artwork set of things, and I did follow the order that Michelle put everything in the database or the spreadsheet for me. So we'll start off with some Spider-Woman art, right? Yeah. Lot number 8 is from Spider-Woman number 2. It's page 11, and it's what is it, 8.5 by 13. So it's drawn a little bit smaller than your like a regular 11 by 17, but it's larger than comic book size. This one's priced $275. Is that was that by choice, Bart?
Yep.
Yep.
It was I've always seen comics as a commercial art. We get paid by the piece, so I decided on the Acclaim run of EXO. I think with the 3rd issue or something, I started doing pages smaller, and we're so tight, so anal. They look the same, so the final result is the print version. So
right,
it's still original art. full comic page. So
Yep, this one has Doc Ock on it, and I think she got Spidey in
yeah,
3 of the
Madam
panels.
Web and um, Spider Girl is the one there with the long, crazy hair. Yeah, I can't even remember all the characters, but they were all in the Spider Woman movie.
That's right. That not enough that people found appealing, that such that there probably isn't going to be a sequel,
I
unfortunately.
actually got a credit.
I know, I saw that, 'cause I did watch the movie.
I didn't even know
Uh,
until somebody told me.
well, so you didn't watch it?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I've heard so many bad things. I'm kind of worried to watch it. I'm sure
It
I will.
it was a slow burn, I could tell you that. It didn't the pacing was really off on it, that's for sure.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, exactly. But all right, so this is lot 8, and we do have another Spider-Woman page, which is lot 9. Same size paper, 8.5 by 13. This is from issue 4, page 7. This one's $300. You get Peter Parker in this one as well.
Yep.
So 300 on that one. And yeah, I get it. I mean, you might as well draw on a, if it's on a smaller sheet, why not, right? It's still on Bristol.
Yep. Still finished comic art.
Mm-hmm. Now, let's see here.
I wish, Brian. I wish.
What was that? If you get credit, yeah, you should get a check. You would think that if they're gonna, at least tip their cap to you in some weird way, you should get something.
I think I'm supposed to, but I still got to track that down.
Uh,
It's one of those things I never seem to find time for.
yeah. Well, that's if you had, an agent, right?
Yeah.
Let's let them chase all that stuff down. Michelle's got better things to do.
Yeah. He's got so much going on. So.
Okay. Well, next up we have something I didn't know you had done any work on. This is an Indiana Jones page.
Yep.
So how did you get this gig? And did you like having to draw a character that everybody recognizes?
No. I hate likenesses.
Yeah.
And, they needed somebody to jump in quick to do this. I guess I was doing some stuff for Dark Horse. I did Scream and The Helm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I took this job right before I got hired at a video game company. So I was trying to pump these pages out at night at the video game company. But I do know I ran through all the indie films on my computer, screen grabbing faces for days, and tried my best to get it to look something like Harrison Ford. And so it was different. Definitely not something I'd ever want to do again.
So was this was the only issue you did, just
Yeah.
because they needed somebody to step in?
Yep. Yep.
Size on this one too is 10 by 14. It's $250. Lot number 10. Now the next one, this one I've got 2 slides for this one because it is actually 2 pieces, and it's got a good story. It almost makes me want to show the pencil version first versus the inked version, but we should probably have the context of the published page to look at first. So
Yeah.
this is lot 11 from Sabretooth. This is issue 2, page 15, and this is the published version. It's on 8.5 by 13. And it comes with the way you originally wanted to draw it, and I'd like to show that one here as well,
Yep.
with Sasquatch getting impaled. So this is only the pencil version on 8.5 by 13. You didn't get to ink this one, but what's the story behind this one?
Well, when the script came, page whatever this was, 15 was. Um, Sabretooth looks down at Sasquatch in the pit, impaled on one of the bungee sticks. And so that's what I drew, and I sent it in. A couple days later, Marvel came back and said, "Oh, we can't print that. So can you reverse the angle? But we can't see Sasquatch at all." I'm like, "Okay." So then I did the second version where you just see the sticks. Yep. But I didn't get paid for both.
You didn't.
No, I did.
Oh, you did? Oh, I'm sorry. So okay. Wow.
Yep.
Well, that's good. I mean, because you drew it the way the writer wanted it.
Yeah. I mean, I even in Sabretooth, I got to do a front piece for I think at least 3 of the issues. The first one I don't think I was able to, but I asked them if I could do a front piece for the credits of just cool Sabretooth images. So they let me do one for each of the other issues and paid me for them. So that was really cool. Those were fun to do.
Right. I remember these books had that, yeah, like an intro page
Yeah.
with the credits that kind of set the scene or the story to that moment and showed it was like pinups, right? I mean,
Yeah.
of the characters by and
Yeah.
large.
Yeah. I just sort of, I don't know, yeah, like pinups of scenes from the book. So that was a lot of fun. And Mark Pennington just did a great job. Look at those pine trees, man. Those are awesome.
I was just looking at that. And I have the originals here, but I didn't look at them that closely. But I'm looking at this now. Just the whole angle of this piece is crazy. With from that point of view, from poor Sasquatch's vantage point.
Yeah.
It's
Sabretooth's missing teeth.
yeah.
He got
Well,
him
they
out on the previous page.
right there was like 4 pages of battle scene leading up to this one. A really great DPS, I think, as well.
Cool, cool.
Yeah. All right, well, let's see. That was lot 11. So lot 12 is our next one. And this is from Eclipso, The Darkness Within, issue 2, page 23. It's on 11.5 by 16.5, priced at $500. And I think we've had an Eclipso page in the last show. I know that, I was going to say, I know there's a few fans out there, and Derek got his claim in just ahead of Margaret on this one.
Oh,
Sorry, Margaret, but congrats to Mr. Derek Crabb. He's definitely got in there. Yeah, these are cool. I actually read a couple of the issues. Yeah, the issues. Well, this one and the first one because I didn't know a lot about that one. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, Margaret. Everybody says Meg.
sorry. Yeah, that was a blast. I love doing the Darkness Within. I did all those. I changed my rendering style up to try to be quicker, and I did all those uh, rendering lines across the whole form.
Mm-hmm.
And I soon discovered that that was not quicker in any way, shape, or form. Once I started doing it, I had to do it everywhere, and it actually probably took more time than if I had just done it normally. But we tried things. I thought it came out really cool, especially with the flat color. I think it looks great.
Oh yeah, no, I thought the page is fantastic. I love the layout, and that first panel is just amazing. So even if the technique took a lot of time, Bart, it was worth it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I was lucky to get to work on 2 crossovers at DC. Very lucky.
All right, well, congrats to Derek on this one, and we'll go ahead and take a look at the next lot. This is the one that nobody's supposed to know exists. All right, this is that
Oh
Conan
yeah.
cover. So,
Whoops.
so I mean, the thing is, like you said, it hasn't been announced yet. But when did you do the drawing?
2 months ago, maybe.
Okay.
And they wanted it quick, and I did it quick, and they sent it to I mean, before I got a reply email, they'd sent it to the colorist.
Oh wow.
So
So they were happy right away. They didn't. There was no corrections or anything.
no, and so that was cool. And I was talking to them this week, and it got pushed to I think November, and so that's when it'll be out in November. I think it's Conan Unconquered, #1.
Okay.
But don't quote me because my memory stinks. But I thought it had already been in previews. I don't follow any of that stuff, so that is my bad. So you're seeing this and you weren't supposed to.
Well, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, if the interiors happen and turn out anything like this, it's going to be one hell of a
Better.
yeah. That's going to be amazing. But no, this is great. Lord of Flex says, is that from Titan?
Yes.
Yep. All right. Well, this is a good one. It's $3,000. It is on 11 by 17. I think the next several pieces are all 11 by 17, or all the remaining published pieces are. So this one was lot 13 at 3, and then the next piece. Let's switch over to that. This is from your a Kickstarted book, Drawing Powerful Heroes, Volume 1. This is this one's 11 by 14 and a half. See, I just
Yeah.
already lied about it, but this one's $4,000, and so I put the published image up there beside it because I thought everybody would like to see how the treatment worked out, right? With the way you had left the pencil panels behind the characters.
Yep. That was fun doing the 8 figures and then leaving the pencils in the background. That was kind of cool. Worked out pretty well.
Who was the colorist on this piece?
That is Michael Attia, who's
Okay.
also coloring the Conan previously.
Well, it came out great. I love the fact that they changed the pencil work to that green. It just works really
Yeah.
well with the characters.
Yep. Yep. Fun stuff.
Yeah, Marcus says Brute and Babe.
Yeah.
Well,
there they are.
so when you're putting together those books, I mean, what's the process time for all the all the drawings that you have to put inside of those? When you guys are working on it, what's the production time like?
It's twice as much as I think. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a completely different hat than when I'm just doing comics. Just sitting drawings. I've got to do things for a purpose and a reason. They have to be clear, and I have to describe it. So it's a whole different process. And once I get going in it, regularly, it's a lot of fun. But those first, few times getting back into tutorials and explaining, trying to figure out what I was doing and why, that's pretty tough. And that even goes with drawing. The first few drawings I usually throw out because they're so, I guess, rough is the wrong word. They're so uh, tight or something. They just don't have the flow and the freeness, because I'm loosening up, I guess, and I'm not quite loose yet because I'm so nervous about, doing the tutorial aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually it gets into a better rhythm.
Well, it's a great image. Cool to see here because I've gotten to see it in person. Very nice piece. This is lot 14, 4,000, and then lot 15 is Legendary Infinity. It's $1,500. This is 51 cover, 11 by 17. So, how was I wanted to ask you about the background characters on this. When I look at the published piece, you can see, some work there. Was that done on digitally or done on a separate?
Yeah, it's done digitally. The background there was the original cover for Infinity on my first run with Ominous back in 93, 94. So the legendary set, there's 4 issues, and it took the 3 issues I actually published in 94, I guess it was. And we finished out the 4th story and um, did this bridging element between them all that kind of helped tie the stories all together. That
Mm-hmm.
Ron Mars wrote, and Tom Rainey penciled and inked it. I think he inked it too. And so that was really cool. That was a blast getting the opportunity to do that, tie those stories together. And both those, this one and the last page, were inked by Andy Smith,
Got it.
who inked most of my Ominous Press stuff.
Cool. This is a nice one. It is on 11 by 17. CJ asked if I'm in an aquarium. Is my audio weird tonight?
No,
No? Sounds normal?
sounds normal to me.
Maybe it's not. Maybe through the stream it's coming out weird. But sorry if it is, everybody. Everything looks A-okay here on my setup. Oh, Stingray says I sounded muffled for a minute. Okay. That's weird. Okay. Well, I did see my internet bandwidth icon pop up, so we might have had a. I do live in Central Florida, Bart. You remember what it's like down here. When the wind blows a little out of the south, you never know what's going to happen with your internet connection.
That's kind of everywhere. I actually have 2 high-speed internets because one keeps failing, and then the other one fails. And every time I get ready to dump one of them, the other one dies. I'm like, oh, so bad.
Oh, all right. Well, this is 15. I'll throw a question at you because Armando, who commissioned you with that sketch cover before, asked you, do you ever do things like a recreation, like that Superman versus Muhammad Ali is what they were asking about specifically.
You're gonna have to email me, Armando.
That might be a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
And it's not just the two main characters. It's any characters in the background of that one.
And you know what's cool? Joe Kubert was originally hired to do that book, and in
Oh,
his
really?
office at the Kubert School when I went there in 1982, he had it framed on his wall. He did the cover, and he had it framed on his wall. It was massive. I believe it was bigger than 11 by 17. I think he did it real old school, and with all the head. I mean, the same exact layout, but I guess Ali didn't like how Joe drew him, so Joe got canned, and they brought in Neil. And Neil
Wow.
just, probably threw it on a light box and just drew it his style.
Right.
But that was crazy. I was stunned when I walked in and saw that.
Man, you wonder where that is. I mean, it's probably one of the boys has it, I would imagine. I mean, that's not something I've seen before. Huh.
That's nuts. It was beautiful.
Well, Armando, so you'll have to email Bart
Yeah,
about
please,
that
yeah.
one. That
And
would be that's a yeah, like Brian said, there's a lot of heads on that cover.
yeah, I do like drawing heads, but my head's spinning a little bit with that one.
All right, let's take a look at this next piece. This is from your CrossGen days. This is
Yep.
from the first issue 3. It's a DPS, pages 6 and 7. So this one's on two boards. 20. It's 22 by 17. I imagine it's that heavy CrossGen board as
Yep.
well. And this one's $1,700. Yeah, I didn't take this one out of the bag, but I know anything that I've handled from CrossGen that was on CrossGen paper is always that extra thick Bristol board.
Yep. The first was nuts, man. Just tons of characters all over the place with the crazy designs. It was, they're all gods. It was perfect for me. Oh, there it is. Yep.
Yeah, I wanted to find the color image too and try to get this thing in there a little
Michael
bit bigger.
Artia colored that too.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I've known him since he was 16 or 17. He grew up near me and he worked for me at my first ominous studio, and uh, I helped him learn how to color, and he eventually ran Ominous Color while it was still alive for a while.
Marcus says this one's has as many heads as the Muhammad Ali cover.
I don't know about that, but
Probably
well,
it might be a little short of it, but yeah. But here, I wanted to switch over to I can actually zoom in on this image if I switch to a different screen here. There we go. Just so people can see how much work went into this thing.
yeah,
And that's a lot of costumes to remember, Bart.
yeah. Well, I made them all up, so most of them. I think all but 6 of them were pre-designed before I got to CrossGen.
Wow, that's beautiful. All right, well, that one is, let me throw the slide back up there again. Lot 16, $1,700 for the DPS from the first. Now, let's see, I know we're moving over to some more DC works. We have a Justice League Europe issue 7, page 19, on 11 by 17, and that is $400. And a lot of people remember your JLE work very, very fondly. I'm sure you probably did. You have a good time when you were working on that book?
It was a lot of pressure, and I'll tell you why. Because when I took the book in November, I started. It was supposed to be their big summer release in July, and at a con in Canada in the end of January or somewhere in January, I found out from a fan that it was shipping in February or March. And I called my editor and I was like, "What the heck? I thought you told me this, and I had all this time, and I didn't have to worry about being pushed." And he was like, we changed the date. You're behind. Get to work." Like, great. So that was fun. But I just saw the rough for this page, and I had drawn a completely different scientist because I didn't know that Adam had already done his pages, and
Oh,
so before I drew the page, they sent me the reference. I was like, oh, so when I have the little really tight rough for this page, it's a completely different dude. So I had to redraw his heads and think that's about it. His body structure might be a little different. I can't remember.
Very cool. So I think we have 2 pages from Justice League Europe. So this was the first, and then yeah, here's the second one. This one, and this one's kind of interesting. I should probably show this one too, because it has an overlay, and it's like I don't know why. Because when I looked at the published piece, I was trying to figure out what the overlay was for, and then the
Oh,
published
those
piece
little red
doesn't really.
lines.
What's that?
See all the little red lines?
Yeah.
Red
So
lines. That's
they
what the overlay is.
but see, it didn't really show up too much on the printed, on that, at least on the thing that I was able to download.
Huh. I can barely see them right there, but yeah, they're there.
Yeah, well, that's why I zoomed in on it, and the red lines kind of disappeared. You can see like a couple on each of the panels, but yeah, it was like a flashback scene. So this one does have an overlay to show the lines, and so it covers up the the images, but it's on a layer of acetate. And let me see, I can switch over to my camera so to give people an idea what that looks like. So with the acetate over it is actually covering the art, and then when you flip the acetate over, you just have the art.
Yeah, I think I drew it on the red those scope lines. I think I drew them on vellum or something. I don't even know. And sent it in, and they in production they did all the rest of that.
So that was stuff that you would set up for them. You did the acetate, you cut the acetate for that and laid everything out.
No, I just probably put a sheet of 11 by 17 vellum over this and drew
Oh, I
the
see.
panel borders and the lines, and they did the rest.
Got it.
They
Yeah, because all those panels are the same shape.
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting. Oh, that makes sense the way they did it. All right. Well, this one's still available. Lot 18, 350, and then lot 19 is from Invasion. So this is it from issue 3, page 4, price is 350, and it's on 11 by 17 as well. So how did Invasion come about?
It was
You're laughing.
well, I had just been given Spectre as a monthly book. I had done 2 issues of the Cops comic, and Andy Helfer called me and gave me Spectre monthly, and they were 24-page stories back then. And it was a Monday, and I had just finished page 6. I had done 5 pages the week before, and it was Monday, and I just finished page 6. So it was probably 6 or 7 at night on Monday. And Andy Helfer called me and said, "Hey, I need you to do the 3rd issue of this big summer crossover, Invasion. It's 80 pages." I'm like, "Awesome." He's like, "I need you to come in Friday for a meeting at 11 a.m. in the office." I'm like, "Okay, I'll." If I leave by 6, I should get there in time. 5 or 6 in the morning, I should get there by 11. Cool. He's like, "All right, great." He's like, "I need you to bring in some pages." I'm like, "Of course I should. I just finished page 6, so I'll bring in 7, 8, 9. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday's work, and I'll bring them in on Friday." And he's like, "I need you to bring in the whole book." I'm like, there are 18 pages left, Andy. I have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I have 3 days. And you want me to pencil 18 pages in 3 days? He's like, "Yeah, you can do it." I'm like, "I can't do that. That's impossible." He's like, "You can do it." I'm like, "No, I can't." He's like, "Yes, you can." Well, this went on for a half hour. Finally, I'm like, "Fine." So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I penciled the last 18 pages of this book and drove them down Friday morning and turned them in right before the
Believe that.
non-existent meeting, because it was just me and Andy. Maybe Keith was there. I don't know. But yeah, McFarlane had just been offered Spider-Man, so he quit after doing the 1st issue. And Keith drew the 2nd one, and I got to draw the 3rd one, which was awesome. That was really lucky, and that was cool. It was funny. He gave me this little napkin, and there was this little sketch on it of like these horrible little people and this big alien head in the background and stuff. And he's like, "We need this. You to do this as the big poster, the promo poster." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "Yeah, I guess Matt Groening did it at a bar for him." I don't know how that came about, but
Wow.
He designed the Invasion poster.
And you have that laying around somewhere?
I might have thrown it out. I don't know. I haven't seen that in forever, but
Yeah, that would be that's at least a little piece of history, right?
yeah.
So let's see here. So Derek did claim that page, by the way. He's Derek's got his second page of this evening.
Okay, cool.
And Ben, we don't take offers live. You're more than welcome to, email us after the show, and we can talk with Bart and try to work things out. But during our artist sales, we stick with the prices that we show, and but if you want to throw something around afterwards, we're more than happy to worry about them. Yep, you can email me, Bill at comicartfans.com. And I should let everybody know anything that doesn't sell goes up on CAF. I guess I'm going to put them up there tonight because I got to go to Heroes tomorrow. So I've got some work to do after we're done here. But yeah, that's true. Well, no problem at all, Ben. But we appreciate you tuning in, and we appreciate Derek for picking up his second piece tonight, which I'll just show one more time before we move on from that. This ain't no dueling dealers. You got that right, Alberto. All right, so let's move on. We got four more pieces to show before I recap pieces that have not sold. Lot 20 is next. This is a Marvel Snap piece that I know that I emailed with Michelle, and she just said that it may not be out yet, but it was done for Marvel Snap.
Yep.
It's Shanna. How did you get to work with Marvel on Marvel Snap?
They emailed me and asked if I wanted to do some Snap stuff, and I did. And they asked me who I wanted to do, and I said, the main characters. And they sent me Shanna and a couple others, and I got Shanna done and started working on the others, and then kind of wasn't into it, so I just stopped working. But I sent Shanna in. They were like, I don't know, a bunch of other little drawings, which I probably did digitally because you know how they move and stuff.
Yeah.
So I had to break her out into layers and then do different stuff. But that's how. So I just did the one. I've actually got about 3 shocker pieces that I drew, 11 by 17, and inked, but hated. So I just stopped and never sent them in.
Well, all right. So this is your one and done.
One and done.
There's a few creators who've done quite a few, right? They can knock them out, and it's all right. Well, I get it. I have not played Marvel Snap. I got.
Nor have I.
Yeah.
What I want to do, the Avengers, X-Men, Fantastic Four, I want to do bigger characters. I just wasn't interested in secondary or third-dairy characters. So.
Right.
No, but I got Shauna done. And no, the loincloth is not removable on that piece of art.
Well, I think she looks just fine. Let's see. We got 3 more to look at here, and let me see. Lot 21. You mentioned Mask earlier. I think we've had something from Mask on the show before. So this is the cover to issue 10, 11 by 17. And I don't think we really talked about Mask, and some of the work that you did there. I mean, how did that come about?
When with the last incarnation of Ominous Press, they IDW released the pamphlet versions of a bunch of our books, and they wanted me to do a cover month, and so I did 7 or 10 covers for them of all the different books they had, Mask being one of them, which is kind of fun. I remember Mask is from a kid, but I really never got into it or knew anything about it. And I kind of still don't, but at least I got to see what the designs were like, at least for this version.
Oh, Southern Comic Geek has claimed this one. I know I'll be delivering that one to Heroes tomorrow.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Jason. We appreciate that. Make a note of that one. All right, awesome. The thing is, I remember Mask, but I don't remember seeing anything on TV or reading anything about the team.
I think I was older.
My brother liked it, so it was around the house.
Yeah, I remember it, but I never watched it or knew anything.
Yep.
I was older when it came out, just didn't grab me.
All right. Well, we have 2 more pieces here to look at. Another cover. This is from Kona. This is March of Our Monarch of Monster Isle. So it was
For a Kickstarter book. They were reprinting all the Kona stuff,
that's what I thought. Yep.
and I don't know whatever happened to the guy. I don't know anything. We couldn't get any information after we did it, and I don't know if I don't know what happened. The guy never responded to anything. We've never heard a thing about it. So here is Kona.
Well, he was able to take down a dinosaur with a rifle.
Yep. Another fun cover to do.
Yeah, that came out pretty nice. So this is when was this done?
Jeez. I'm thinking right before or during COVID.
Okay.
So what, 5 years ago, maybe
All right.
years ago. I don't
Yeah,
think
because
do
I
I.
was searching for something else and I actually saw the Kona cover. I'm like, wait a minute, I know I've got that one, so I was able to grab the image for it.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever seen that image.
I was searching for Conan, if you can believe it, and this came up, and that's when I was trying to find the image
The
with
other
him with the
cover.
sword. Yeah, I was typing in everything, and then all of a sudden, like the 10th image on Google image search was that published image. So I'm like, okay, that made my life easy when I couldn't find the Conan cover. All right. Well, this one's $500 as well, and then the last piece is actually a prelim. This is the one that I should have put earlier in the set with the other prelims that we
Yeah,
did. So this was from John Carter of Mars, issue 2, and so it is on an 11 by 17 bond paper, and it's $400. You who didn't grow up loving John Carter
yeah,
comics, right? I mean, number one, and then just the books as well. But the comics were so much fun. So I mean, I imagine you probably enjoyed getting to work on. I mean,
yeah.
this image right here is just like it takes you back because it's just so classic.
Yeah, I loved getting that opportunity to do the John Carter covers. I mean, just I grew up reading John Carter. He
Hmm.
was one of the first books I read as a young wee lad, and but I loved everything Edgar Rice Burroughs back then, and just getting the opportunity was great. Be nice to do stories of him, but it's nice getting to do the covers. This is fun. I mean, those creatures are great, and this prelim I would have uh, enlarged to whatever size the cover was, and I think they were all 11 by 17, and just probably went straight to ink on it. This one here is done with marker, but yeah, this is what I consider the pencils.
Well, not bad. And people are talking about the movie. I actually enjoyed the movie. I didn't think it was that terrible, although I know it did terrible at the theaters. But it's an acquired taste. Like I just can't see. It was hard to imagine John Carter as a film being very popular since it was such a pulpy kind of
Yeah,
story. I mean, it's just not something that you would think would have the mass appeal that the people producing it might have thought it would have.
I think they made a few mistakes. I would have done it a little, quite a bit differently myself, but I enjoyed it, just not as a John Carter film.
Right. Right. Exactly. Hey, what email address should people use if they want to reach out to you and Michelle about anything? Stingray's asking in particular about the Stingray pages, but I know that the gentleman who had done the Walking Dead sketch cover wanted to know what email address was best to
Okay.
use.
It's bartsearsart@gmail.com.
Okay. There you go. Everybody's got that then. Bart Sears Art at gmail.com for any requests or inquiries that you might have.
Yep, it's if you go to my website, it's right there too. So,
Okay.
which is bartsearsart.com.
Hard to forget that one. So why don't we go ahead and I'll just run through the pieces that we haven't sold this evening, and I should be able to get most of these posted to CAF tonight before
Awesome.
I finish packing. But these are the ones that went unsold today. We had lot 1, that was a Darth Maul sketch on 8.5 by 11. That was $100. Jerry Bourne got lot 2 that he's gonna email me about. And we're going to figure out if Bob Layton can get to ink that one. So then lot 3 was the Captain America piece. Very tight pencils on this one. It's on 11 by 17. It was an unused side panel piece, and very, very well done. Then let's see, Hoarder's Hide got lot 4. So then we have some prelims. This is from Violator 1, the Alan Moore book that Bart got to work on. This is prelim to issue 1, page 13. This one was $600. We also had the prelim to the cover of Vampirella Trial of the Soul on 8.5 by 11. This one was $400. And let me see here. Next up was lot number 7, and that was the EXO issue 51 cover prelim, and it was on 8.5 by 11 as well. That one is $400. We had the couple of pages from Spider-Woman. This is from issue 2, and it's page 11, priced at $275. And then we also had a page from issue 4, page 7, priced $300. And the Indiana Jones, the one and only time Bart got to work on Indiana Jones. This one's priced at $250 from issue 4 of the Tomb of the Gods. And then the cool page I thought of the night was that Sabretooth one. This is lot 11, priced at $1,000. You get the you get the watered down version here that was published but super cool, and with Sabretooth staring down at Sasquatch, who has just fallen into his trap, or you get the rejected version from Marvel on 8.5 by 13 as well, and you get to see Sasquatch impaled numerous times through this. He lived to tell the tale, though. Everybody, it was not his undoing. Yeah, he definitely is. Although I don't know how they got him off of that, but one way or another they did. Then let's see, Derek got lot 12, and then we had the new cover that's coming out in November for a Conan book. This is lot 13, priced at $3,000. And then we had the cover to Drawing Powerful Heroes Volume 1. This one is priced $4,000. It's on 11 by 14.5. We also had the cover to Legendary Infinity Issue 1, priced at $1,500 for lot 15. Then the CrossGen DPS. This is from the first issue 3. It's pages 6 and 7. $1,700 on this one. Lots and lots of characters in it, which is really nice to see. And then we have, that's right, lot 17, the Justice League Europe issue 7, page 19, priced at $400. And also from JLE 27, page 14, priced at $350. Lot 19 was also sold to Derek. So we have the Marvel Snap piece, the one and done Marvel Snap piece from Bart of Shanna. And we have this one at $600. It's on 11 by 17. Then let's see, Southern Comic Geek got lot 21. So we have 22. That was that Kona cover. And this was done on 11 by 17, priced at $500. Then also the one we were just looking at, the John Carter of Mars issue 2 cover rough on 11 by 17, priced at $400. There we have it. Those are the ones. And Stephen Crawford has come in and claimed lot 22. Thank you, Stephen. I'll make a note of that. As a reminder to everyone, anyone who's claimed any pieces tonight, you're going to email me, bill@comicartfans.com, and we'll square up payment. I am leaving for Heroes tomorrow, but I'll get you the payment information so that you can get the payment over to me. We'll be shipping the art to those who we're shipping art to on probably on Tuesday of next week. But if you're at Heroes, like Southern Comic Geek is, you can get it hand delivered by me. At least a piece. Yes, exactly. White glove treatment. It doesn't happen too often around here, but yes, there you have it. But thank you, Stephen, for picking that one up. I'm not ignoring you guys. Yeah, everybody has
wear some mask, Bill.
Yeah, there's a joke around here. A friend of mine gave me a Captain America mask that was probably made for a 5-year-old. And so it barely, I mean, it's impossible to put on practically, but I put it on a couple times just to give everybody a laugh. And so, they made memes out of it. But every time I do, it's a screen grab and the word balloons that I speak, or, that they put out there on the interwebs I only do it for special occasions. And I'm not calling tonight a special occasion to do it. They one time, they gave me a hard time, and they said that if I did it, they would buy some art, and so they actually did. but I was miserable for the 30 minutes I had to keep that thing on. It was like, uh, it left. I mean, the letter A was probably on my forehead, for like an hour after the show. It's that tight. So yeah, I do it. Uh, oh, that's right. Southern Comic. He just said that he picked up the Bart Sears Turok page from me last
Awesome.
year. Yeah, that's funny. When I was looking at when we did our last show, sales show, Bart, it was the first week in June of last year. So it really has been a year since we did one of these.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
And that
that's
was right
that
before
is.
Heroes, like 2 weeks before Heroes, I think last year.
Yep. That is true. All right. Well, so like I said, everybody who picked up stuff, shoot me an email tonight. We'll get you the payment information, and the pages that didn't sell I'll have up in my CAF gallery, and so they'll be in the CAF classifieds and get pushed out to all of the premium members on CAF to take a look at. Caesar says, "What? Having Bart on is not a special occasion. How dare you?" It is, but it's late, everybody. I don't mind doing those at like 2 in the afternoon where I can get my way through it, but. Yeah, Bart, you don't need to see you don't need to see that. Uh, but anyways, as always, it's great getting to talk to you, and I'm looking forward to
That's
having
awesome.
you, as are the everybody on the CAF team to OAX next February. So the fun thing is we'll get to work together in the lead up to that. I know we'll have you back on, and now that we know you have a Kickstarter going on as well, I've already put it on my calendar to send out a PR email for you a couple
Awesome.
days before the close of the Kickstarter, so more people are aware of it. And yeah, it's always fun getting to hang out and talk with you, Bart.
Yeah, it's been a blast. Thank you, everyone, man. I do
Well,
appreciate it.
all right. Well, everybody in the chat, thank you for doing this. If you're going to Heroes over this weekend, if you see me, wave. If we've never met, come over and introduce yourself, because obviously we like to get to know everybody who hangs out in the chat. So yeah, Kazra will be there. I'll be there. Matt DiTulio will be there, and Matt Sardo will be there all weekend. And tomorrow night we're having a meetup. See, Bart, you are missing out. We're actually doing a meetup at the Charlotte Beer Garden. Apparently, they have the largest tap selection in the world at this place. It's 4 blocks from the west, and they have like 350 beers on tap on 3 different floors. So it's like floor 1 is like all local beers. Floor 2 is, like just domestic, that they brought in from all over the place, and then like the third floor is international. I've
Why am
never.
I just learning this now?
I don't know. I mean, I've been going to Heroes for so long. I didn't know it was there. I know. Trust me. So
Crazy.
but if it's as great as it sounds, and they even have like a big patio, so it's like it's 3 floors of beer and like a really large outdoor patio, so it's like it seems perfect.
Pretty
And if
awesome.
it's as perfect as it sounds, I think we're going to do it. We'll probably do it again there next year, Thursday before the show.
I'll be there
um,
next year.
and Anthony says I'm buying. I'm not buying. But I will be there. I'll be hanging out. So, all right, everybody. But have a good evening, and if I hope to see you this weekend if you're at Heroes. Bart, as always, it's a lot of fun, man. So
Thank you.
hang
Thank
out
you
in the
very
chat,
much.
hang out, and I'll talk to you after the show.
Thank you, everybody.